Hello everyone, Darsonovia here. This is a question that I've been asking for a while. Of course, it's obvious by now. Is it possible to love Marvel and DC? The simple answer is yes, of course you can love Marvel and DC. But unfortunately, there's people on both sides that seem to disagree. Now, before we get to the topic of the rant, I'm just going to show you a little haul really quick. It's not much of a one. All of it's Marvel comics. By the way, Pedophile Express, this is the first Marvel comics that I've purchased, so fuck off. The Dark Phoenix saga. Any real comic book fan would have read it, or at least own one. The Birth of Venom. Carnage, which are classic Carnage stories in the 1990s, and Days of Futures Past. So, is it possible to love both, Marvel and DC? Of course it's possible, but you have some fanboys on both sides that seem to disagree, that hate on each other just for choosing one or the other. And most of it are not even fans of who have read the comics. Surprisingly, most of them are MCU and DCU fanboys. And it's ridiculous. And I doubt most of these fanboys even bought half of this shit. And for all of you Marvel fanboys and DC fucktards out there, I own more Marvel and DC shit than most of you do. I guarantee you that one. Sam Raimi's Spider-Man trilogy. Iron Man. Iron Man 2. Avengers. Go suck a dick, Andre. This is better than your Justice League will turn out to be. Iron Man 3. The Winter Soldier, better than any DCU movie. Age of Ultron, Guardians of the Galaxy, and very likely better than your precious Batman bore Superman. Oh, and here's my DC-related stuff. And these are just my Blu-rays. Of course, I doubt you paid attention to any of my videos. Batman 89. Batman Returns, Batman v Superman, the Scam Edition, Man of Shit, Richard Donner's cut of Superman 2, Superman the movie, the very thing that you hate. And for some reason, I'm considered a Nolanite, despite me talking shit on Nolan. The Christopher Nolan Batman trilogy. I even have the DVDs too, by the way, but I wasn't in the mood to look for the Flash. I have more DC related Blu-rays than Marvel. Oh, as for the DVDs, X-Men, the very first edition of this movie that was released. X-Men 2, The Last Shit. I don't understand why this movie is popular. I don't think it's a good film. The Wolverine, Days of Futures Past. Now, for my DVDs, The Dark Knight Returns, both parts. Hell, I have the deluxe edition too. Under the Red Hood, Wonder Woman, Flashpoint. Of course, here's some of my comics for DC, which I bet you don't have any, fraud. The Dark Knight Returns, plus... Oh, what do I have here? The deluxe edition of the movie. Yet I'm not a true DC fan, am I? Pedophile Express, Death of the Family, Battle the Crow, and Under the Red Hood. And for all you DC fucktards, they're going to say, oh, you're not a real DC fan because you don't own any back, issues. I prefer to have my comics in trades, not have a bunch of issues that I'm only going to read once and never touch them again because collecting, sure sake. Fuck that. If I buy a comic, I want to read it over and over again. This, you can classify this as both DC and IW. The Flash. More Flash comics, and this is in the Wily West years, which I doubt most of you fucks have even read anything other than Batman. I doubt it. Oh, Green Lantern. More Green Lantern. Even more Green Lantern. In fact, a good chunk of my DC collection is either The Flash or Batman. Yet I'm not a real DC fan. Yeah, I probably own more shit than you do. That doesn't even count for the Rebirth comics that I own. I'm not even going to show that in this video because that's just too overwhelming. Oh, as for my Marvel comic, by the way, Andre Pedophile Express, all these trades is all I got for Marvel. But unlike your ass, assuming that you actually read comics, I actually read more than just DC. And by the way, for all you stupid fuckheads out there that think that people like me aren't real comic fans or Marvel or DC because of we prefer one over the other or we like both, fuck you. Honestly, I own more shit that isn't related to DC and Marvel. I own a lot more comics than even this. Do you guys read comics other than DC and Marvel, assuming you pick up a comic at all? Probably not. Now, what is the point of this video? This point of this video isn't to do a jab at Andre. Part of it was, but the point is, you can love DC and you can love Marvel. You don't have to basically choose one over the other. You can like both. I like DC more than Marvel. Obviously, if you look at my collection, it's much bigger, movies and comics. But most of these fanboys are people who have only watched the films or the animated series, but never picked up a comic themselves and actually experienced the source material. You could claim you love Marvel and DC, but if you've never read a comic, you're a casual fan. You only like it for the movies or the animation. But you don't like it for anything else. Fuck you fanboys of the MCU and DCU. I'll love both. And there's not a goddamn thing you could say that will change my mind. I love DC for Batman, Superman, Green Lantern, The Flash, and Wonder Woman. I love Marvel for Spider-Man, X-Men, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, The Incredible Hulk, and much more. There's things about each franchise that's better than the other. And so there's certain eras of comics that I do think that Marvel and DC were probably better at. DC was better than Marvel, most likely during the 90s. I don't know. I haven't read that many DC comics or any Marvel comics that period. But each one has their own strengths and weaknesses. Of course, at this current era, DC's far better than Marvel. They're not having the movies influence the comics like Marvel is. And they care more about their fans. Classic Marvel, I think, is far better than what it is currently. But if I read Marvel, it's classic. Anything before the Civil War event, I'll read. Anything after it, forget it. Because all Marvel is now is about events. DC, on the other hand, I'm more willing to read stuff in the 2000s. I'm more open to read DC Comics than Marvel. But that doesn't mean I'm not a, DC fan because I want to read other stuff. Believe it or not, you stupid cocksuckers, there's better companies out there besides Marvel and DC that make better comics. They're not the only ones that exist, but I doubt any of you fucks have actually ever picked up a comic in the first place. So, fuck you, fanboys of the MCU and DCU. I care more about the comics than I do about the movies. To me, the movies is nothing more than a bonus if the movie is good. If it's bad, it's a shit stain on the property that it adapted. Batman v Superman. Man of Steel. Fox's entire X-Men series. Spider-Man 3. Spider-Man Homecoming. Yeah. So, DCU, MCU fanboys, go fuck yourselves, while real fans of DC and Marvel could actually enjoy our fandoms in peace. Peace out, everyone, and tell me what you think in the comments below. And Andre, if you're watching this video, go fuck yourself.